Dinner with the Mannings that night.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with.
Maybe a Last Supper of sorts.
And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. All right, so everybody, we all know it's over. Everybody's made fun of me. Everybody figures I've been crying, but I'm okay. What we're looking at here right now, let me turn this down over here.
Little money bag there for you. Also, and now, as we send it off to the boardroom and Steve Weish, we were talking about the Ravens' departures yesterday. You guys now get to chew on the additions.
Well, that's right, Red, as I'm joined by Judy.
What we are looking at here is Michael Anthony actually working and me being lazy as usual. I think I need some more coffee. Coffee is like crack for me. He's gluing up some more drawer fronts. We got the other cabinets actually outside the shop where we're varnishing them and things, so we're coming along with the kitchen. What we're watching right now, we got a lot of Cowboy fans that are pissed off, says Jerry Jones sucks, the Cowboys suck. This is the reason why we don't win shit. The hell with the Cowboys. We're going to be 7-9. And I say hold up for a minute.
I'm okay 7-9 if you get rid of Jason Garrett.
No, but hold on. How you got to say that we're going to have a losing set, that we went from being a Super Bowl team to a 7-9 team just because of Earl Thomas?
Veteran talent go.
No. I looked at it and said maybe Earl Thomas helps us win a couple of games. In the NFL, a couple of games it can be the difference between being in a Super Bowl run and having home field advantage to being a wild card. Now, that being said, there's other guys out there that can help us. And what we're actually looking at is a difference in philosophy. Whether it works or not, time will tell. But you have to look at this team and say that right now we have been building well. Right or wrong? Would you say Jalen Smith is a good player? Would you say that Van Der Esch is a good player, Mike?
Still doesn't mean I want Jason Garrett here.
Well, I can't help you on Jason Garrett, okay? I believe me. I've done everything I could. Just like I talked about Earl Thomas, I've talked about Jason Garrett.
I hate to say this, but I really had Kellen Moore as our head coach to Jason Garrett.
Well, you may get your wish.
At this point.
But hold on, let's look at it this way. Jason Garrett's not making play calls anymore. Jason Garrett's not in charge of the defense. You got Chris Richard there as the defensive coordinator and coach in waiting, if you ask me. So Jason Garrett is just the clapper. He's the sideline clapper, okay? That's it.
He can clap himself on
But you got rid of Scott Linehan. But we'll see. Maybe all the problems with Scott Linehan. But see, we argue all
Jason Garrett should have went with him too.
All day long. We just argue. All day long. Well, we re-signed our fullback to a 3-year, $5.4 million contract. So what the Cowboys' philosophy is this. Let's try to keep the players that know our system. Better to deal with the devil we know than to go out and spend a whole bunch of money for somebody else that we don't. Hold on to the ones that you deem the most important and try and then add some pieces. That's the philosophy that they have. As opposed to what you're looking at with the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns, they're grabbing everybody. They are grabbing everybody and saying, let's just get Pro Bowlers, let's get the best talent out there, and we'll throw all of them together and we'll make a run. We'll see if that works. Okay? New England's thing has never been to do that. Their thing has always been to hold on to people we think that are good, grab some pieces here and there later, and go. And this is the exact spot we were in last year. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because now the dust has cleared. Okay, the dust has settled. Now, teams don't have as much money. The big names are gone. This is where the real work begins for the Dallas Cowboys. This is where they bargain basement shop, and a lot of times it doesn't work. But we don't need a lot of big pieces. And it's one of those things that it's low risk and possibly high reward. Because if you end up getting a guy that only costs you a couple $1 million and he plays it well, then you got something. If you pay $15 or $13.7 million for an aging safety and he gets hurt, you're screwed because you don't have money to spend on other guys. And that's where the Cowboys made a calculated decision and said, listen, we don't have that kind of money to spend on those guys. We're better off taking that $13.7 million to try and get 3 guys that are going to be productive and average guys. We'll see if it works. I wanted him. I have to admit that. But now, if you're not getting the lights out safety, what you need is a pass rush. You know, I've talked about how the New York stinking Giants won 2 Super Bowls, and it wasn't Eli Manning. Rashid. It was not Eli Manning. It was that defensive line that they had. It was a bunch of crazed dogs that got after the quarterback and got turnovers for Eli Manning. So right now, the Cleveland Browns, having gone through and signed all these All-Stars, they have a defensive end. Yeah, what is his name? That they're shopping right now. He was a second-round draft pick because they always have a lot of draft picks. Emmauel Ogbah Cowboys. You know I suck with names, okay? It's Emmanuel or something or other. But he's a defensive end, drafted in 2016. And he's got like 12 and a half sacks. He's the kind of guy, you give him to Rod Marnelli. Rod Marnelli will take guys that are nobodies, has-beens, never-beens, and turns them into somebodies. He took Jason Hatcher, who we heard talking about Tony Romo and Jason Garrett yesterday, took him from being a 3 or 4 sack a season guy and turned him into 11 sacks, where he got paid to go to the Washington Redskins and then didn't bust a grape. He took a George Selvey, who had 3 sacks and 4 teams over 4 years, and turned him into a 7-sack guy. So this is what we got to start looking at. Now, I don't know what this contract will end up being, but let's say you get a guy like him for $5 million. You're now replacing Randy Gregory, David Irving. Let's say you go for Ndamukong Suh, and let's say you can get him for $7 million and put him on the line. All of a sudden, that $13 million that you were going to spend on Earl Thomas, you spend that 13 between those two right there on the defensive line. Now we go into the draft. Safety glasses. See, what, you got dust in your eyes? See, look at that. You guys are right. Safety glasses. Mike's got some dust in his eyes. No? Okay. Maybe it was the bullshit flying. I don't know. That got in his eyes. It might have been me. But instead of spending that on Earl Thomas, if you end up getting yourself some defensive linemen that can make a difference on the pass rush, replacing Randy Gregory and David Irving, then you're still in good shape. So now it's time for the Dallas Cowboys front office to get to work. And for all of you people who are pissed off and figure we're not going to do shit, you said the same thing last year. You remember that? You don't remember this being deja vu moment? You remember last year? When Dez went? You don't remember that, guys.
I'm glad he went.
Well, it's a young man's game.
What they should have done was trade him after the catch and no catch. And got something for him.
Well, we ended up signing that big contract that we didn't get a return on that dividend.
He was hurt.
And that's where we actually need to start looking at things. Because when you think about it, think about how many big contracts that we've done. And when you look back and say, yeah, we got value for that. Tony Romo got his extension, 2013? We had the 2014 season. 2015 hurt. 2016 hurt. Gone. Dez Bryant, his contract extension, 2014. 2015 hurt. 2016 hurt. 2017 hurt and distraction. So this is where you are when you look at paying some guys a whole lot of money. And I know some people will say, well, Dak Prescott, don't pay him. But you got to pay a quarterback that's young. He's only going in 4 years. I mean, it's not an aging veteran. But we will be okay. And it's almost Happy New Year for the NFL. All right, so let those dry out there. We'll go out there, wet sand those, put another coat on it. And we need to go get some more screws to put these other cabinets together. You staying here or are you going to go? All right, guys. That's all I got for you right now. Anything else happens with the Cowboys? Again, Cleveland is shopping around the defensive end. Emmauel. Just look him up, okay? Just look up. I'm sorry. I'm devastated, man. I'm devastated. You got to understand. Earl Thomas cheated on me with a Raven. It's all good. It's going to be okay. going to be okay. I'm Mark Holmes with,
Like Life Fitness.
and he made fun of me. I'll see you soon.